Hi everyone, my name is Mindy and this morning we're going to be doing Ashtanga yoga. Ashtanga yoga is a method of yoga where all the poses are planned out. It comes from Mysore, India, and each pose builds on itself. So feel free at any point in time to take child's pose, take a little break, pause the video, whatever you need to do to kind of take care of you right now. I like this practice a lot. I shouldn't say I like this practice a lot. I love this practice. I teach it. It's the only style or the only kind of yoga that I teach. And it's great for situations like this because the poses are already planned out. So once you know all the poses, like you know what to do, you're set. So we're gonna go ahead and get started, and just keep in mind if you have any injuries or anything like that to make necessary modifications. Also remember that you're not trying to hurt yourself. So, if you have like a shoulder injury or a knee injury or something like that, like please really be mindful. Also, you want to stay focused on your breath. So if you start finding yourself way out of breath or you're gasping for air, whatever it might be, that's your cue to slow it down. Like you want to stay connected to your breath and breathing deeply in through your nose, out through your nose. So let's get started. We're going to start at the top of our mat. We start with 5 sun salutation A's. So you might be familiar with this if you've done some yoga before. We're going to modify the first one. And if you need to only do 1 or 2, that's totally fine. But we're going to modify the first one so you can continue to do the modified version. And then we will move to the non-modified version, okay? So we're going to start with our feet together at the top of our mat, okay? Shoulders relaxed, belly pulled in. Inhale, reach your arms up. We're going to exhale, fold down. Inhale, lift your head. You're going to look forward, plant your hands down, and you can get down on your knees. Again, this is the modified version, so you're going to kind of work your way back. And if you have bad knees, you can always put a blanket down here, something soft. You're going to really have those fingers spread nice and wide, and you're going to exhale. Keep your elbows in as you lower all the way to the floor. Okay? Inhale, look up at the ceiling. And then exhale, you can either shift it back into child's pose or flip your feet and come into downward dog. So in downward dog, your feet are going to be hip width apart, fingers spread nice and wide. Most of your weight's going to be more in your legs. You're going to relax your neck and try to look at the tops of your thighs or your belly button if you're flexible enough. And you're going to breathe here for 5 breaths. I'll count that out for you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, if you're in downward dog, you're going to inhale, look between your hands and step your feet up. If you're in child's pose, you're going to come from child's pose, you're just going to kind of pick your booty up, and you can even just kind of bring your knees in just like this until you can get back up, okay? So chest is lifted, looking forward, exhale, fold down. Inhale, reach your hands up. Exhale, arms down by your side. So there you go. That's 1 time. Modify it how you need to. You can even take parts out that maybe aggravate an injury. So we're going to do it 4 more times. We're going to inhale, reach your hands up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, lift your head. And this is where you're going to plant your hands and you can come back on your knees. Or if you're ready, you're going to step back onto your toes, come into a plank position, belly pulled in. Exhale, keep your elbows in, lower down. Inhale, flip your feet. You're going to look up at the ceiling, upward dog. Exhale, shift your weight back, downward dog. We're going to do 5 breaths here, either in child's pose or downward dog. 1, 2, nice strong breaths, relax your neck. 3, 4, Inhale, look between your hands, and you're gonna step your feet up. Chest is lifted. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, reach your hands up. Exhale, arms down by your side. Okay, let's do it again. Round 3. Inhale, up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift your head. Exhale, step your feet back, lower down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, shift your hips back. 5 slow breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, look between your hands. You're going to step your feet up. And exhale, fold. Really bring it in the belly. Inhale, reach your hands up. Exhale, arms down by your side. All right, here we go. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, lift your head. Plant those hands. Step it back. Exhale, lower down. Flip your feet. Inhale, look up. Upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. 5 slow breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, look between your hands, step your feet up. Chest is lifted. And exhale, fold down. Inhale, reach your hands up. Exhale, arms down by your side. All right, last one. Here we go. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, lift your head. Exhale, step your feet back. Lower down. Nice and down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, shift your hips back. 5 slow breaths. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, look between your hands, step your feet up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, reach your hands up. Exhale, arms down by your side. All right, so that's a really good start. And if you're feeling a little winded right now, that's a really good start to a practice for you. You're gonna build some strength and some heat in your body that's gonna cleanse and detoxify you. So you can stay here, do some more of these, kind of get that down. If you're ready for more, okay, we're gonna move on to Sun Salutation B, or Surya Namaskara B. Okay, so it's got a few more steps, but pretty similar. Okay, feet together. I'm gonna bend the knees. Okay, wiggle my toes, make sure my weight's in my heels. Inhale, reach your hands up. It's chair pose, right? Exhale, straighten out the legs, fold down. Inhale, lift your head. Exhale, and again, you can come back on the knees, just like we did before. Or you can be right here on your toes. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, look up, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Now you can come to child's pose in this one. So, maybe you come back, you're in child's pose. For the next step, if you're coming from child's pose, you're gonna kind of walk your knees in, bring that right foot in, and then you're just gonna kind of bring yourself back up. Knee is stacked over your ankle, your hips are square. My left foot stays back. It's at like a 45-degree angle. I realize this isn't geometry, but at the same time, like it's at an angle. Knees over my ankle here, squared hips, rise up. We're coming into Warrior One, Virabhadrasana 1. Then exhale, fold it down. And lower down onto your knees, step it back. And from here, you would lower down on your knees or toes. Inhale, look up. Exhale, shift your hips back. Downward dog, or again, child's pose. So we're doing the modified one first. I'm gonna inhale, bring that left foot in, right? Keep the right foot back, because we gotta do both sides, right? So, knee is stacked over my ankle, right? Foot is back at an angle. Square my hips. Inhale, reach those hands up. Exhale, take it down, and you can lower down onto your knees. Step it back. Either lower down on your knees all the way to the floor, or stay on your toes, lower down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, shift your hips back. 5 slow breaths, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, look between your hands. You're going to step your feet up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend your knees. You're going to rise up. Exhale, arms at your side. So we do that one 2 more times, 3 times total. Feel free to put in child's pose at any point in time. You can skip, the push-up, the lower down, if you need to. You can also go a little bit faster. Like typically when we all practice together, we go a little bit faster. We go a little bit faster than this. So it's okay if, you kind of got this down and you want to go a little bit faster. But for the purposes of this video, we're going to do it again, all together. Round 2, feet together, bend your knees, wiggle your toes. Inhale, reach your hands up. Exhale, straighten out those legs, fold down, pulling in the belly. Inhale, lift your head, plant those hands, and again, remember, you can go back on your knees or your toes, so you're going to step those feet back. Exhale, lower down. Flip your feet, inhale, look up, upward dog. Exhale, shift your hips back, downward dog. All right, from here, we're gonna inhale, bring our right foot in, left foot stays back, square the hips, rise up, warrior 1. Exhale, frame the foot, step it back, lower down. Inhale, look up, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, left foot comes in, right foot stays back, square your hips, rise up. Exhale, step it back, lower down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, shift your hips back, 5 slow breaths. Really stay connected to your breath. 1, you should be able to hear your breath. 2, 3, 4, 5. Big inhale, look between your hands, step your feet up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, bend your knees, rise up. Exhale, arms down by your side. Okay, we got one more. And then we're gonna move on to some standing poses, okay? So again, modify how you need to. This is your practice, right? Stay focused on your breath, do what you gotta do. So, weights in your heels, bend the knees, inhale, up, up, up. Utkatasana, chair pose, exhale, straighten out the legs, fold down. Inhale, lift your head. Exhale, step your feet back on your knees or toes, lower down. Inhale, look up, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, bring your right foot in, left foot stays back, square the hips, rise up. Exhale, step it back, lower down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, shift your hips back, downward dog. Inhale, left foot steps in, right foot stays back, square the hips, rise up. Exhale, step it back, lower down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, shift your hips back, 5 slow breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, look between your hands, step your feet up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, bend your knees, rise up. Exhale, arms by your side. So that's Surya Namaskar beat. We did it 3 times. You can do it 2 more if you feel like you want to keep going and build a little bit more heat, or if you want to practice memorizing it. So from here, we go into the standing poses, and the standing poses are always the same, right? So the first one that we do, and I'll face the camera, your feet are going to be hip width apart. It's called Pendangustasana, just means hand to toe pose, right? It's all those words. Translate them to English, that's what it means. So find my hip points. It's where my iliac crest is on my pelvis, right? So here it is. That's where my feet are going to be. You're going to inhale, grab your toes with your peace fingers. Chest is lifted, belly's pulled in. You got a little bit of a bend in the knee. Exhale, go down. Try to keep your shoulder blades down your back. Don't do this. That's not good, right? You don't want to be like this because that just makes extra tension. You want to keep your shoulder blades down your back. And we're going to hold that for 5 breaths. Okay? 1, 2, really focus on relaxing your neck. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift your head. Exhale. Now, you're going to take your hands, we're going to go into Padahastasana. So, take your hands, put it underneath your foot. So, you can get your toes to your wrist creases, you're pretty darn flexible, right? If you can't, you can just get your toes over your fingers. You can also bend your knees in either of these poses, especially if you have tight hamstrings. So feel free to do that. Big inhale, exhale, fold down, 5 slow breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift your head. Exhale, come back up. We're going to bring our feet together, right, at the top of our mat. So feet are together at the top of your mat. From here, we always step back to the right. So we're going to come into triangle pose, Utthita Trikonasana. So take a big step to the right. It's going to be about 3 feet-ish, depending on how tall you are. You're going to turn your foot towards the back of your mat. You're going to spread your arms, nice big inhale here. Got a little bit of a bend in my knee. I have really flexible joints, so my knee kind of wants to bow. If you're one of those people, kind of like me, my elbows bow, my knees bow. I have to have a little bit of a bend just to stay nice and stable. And from here, you're going to exhale, reach out, tip down. Now, traditionally in Ashtanga yoga, we grab the toe. And I realize for a lot of people that's really challenging. And if you don't have a block at home that you can put your hands on, you can put your hands right here on your ankle or on your shin. You can even put your hand on your thigh as you reach up towards the ceiling with the left hand. Now, don't put your hand on your knee because then that's just going to put pressure on that joint, right? So wherever you're at, here, 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 or even here, you're going to take 5 breaths, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, come back up. You're going to switch your feet. So we're going to go to the left side now, right? We always do both sides. Same thing, slight bend. Spread your arms, and then you're just gonna exhale, come down either here, 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 or even here. And don't be surprised if it's easier on one side or harder on the other, whatever it may be. We're not symmetrical. This side's a little more challenging for me. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From here, take a big inhale. We're going to switch back to the right side. So now we do the twisted version. You're going to square your hips, right, front of your mat. You're going to take that left hand, and I want you to exhale. If you can, cross it over your right foot. If you can't, you can put it on your foot, here, on a block, on your shin, or even here on your thigh. And you're going to reach with the right hand up towards the ceiling. So it might look like this, and you're really twisting through that thoracic spine, right? Hips are nice and square. 5 slow breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale.
I don't know how to respond to that.
Thanks, Siri. Come back up. And you're going to exhale down the left side. So your hands either here or here on your foot, the floor, block, here, whatever it may be. Like, you can modify it how you need to. And that left hand is reaching up in the air. 5 slow breaths. Try to scissor through the hips and press into your feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, come back up. And then exhale, step your feet together at the top of your mat. Okay? So now we're going to move on to extended side angle, Tita Parsvakonasana. This one you're going to take a bigger step to the right. Might be more like 4 to 5 feet, depending on how tall you are. Okay? And you're going to turn that right foot towards the back of your mat. Your knee is going to be stacked over your ankles, kind of tracking towards those little toes. Pressing down in through the left foot, right? You're going to take your right hand. As you exhale, place it on the floor. Now, if you're a beginner, you can always put your forearm here. You're going to take the left hand, and you're going to reach up and over, opening your chest to the side of your mat, and look at that hand for 5 slow breaths. Either here or here for 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, inhale, press with your feet, bring yourself back up, and you're going to switch over to the left side. So same thing, knees stacked over your ankle to protect that knee joint, right? You can either place your left hand here as you exhale, reach up and over with the right, or left hand comes to the floor, right hand reaches here, okay, towards the front of your mat. 5 slow breaths, opening through the chest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, come back up. You're going to switch your feet, okay? So we're going to do the twisted version. And all of this twisting is designed to cleanse and detoxify your body because you're like kind of wringing out your organs. So when we switch back to the right side, we're going to have the knee stacked over the ankle. Beginners, if you've never really done yoga before, or if you're newer to yoga, I'm going to recommend you take your hands like you're going to pray, right? And I want you to exhale, twist towards your knee as best you can. Maybe it looks like this, you know. Depends on how mobile your spine is through the thoracic spine, and how open your hips are. So it might look like this, But if you're a little more open, you might get your shoulder all the way over, okay? Now, if you've been doing this for a while, you've been doing quite a bit of yoga, I'm gonna switch towards the front, okay? You might be able to get your shoulder all the way over. This is not an easy pose, still for me after all this time. Okay, get my shoulder down, press through the hands, right? You're still pushing into those feet. Now from here, if you're more advanced, you're gonna take that hand to the floor and then reach towards the front of the room. So lots of different levels here for this pose. This is a tough one, okay? So maybe it's like this, maybe it's like this, or this, here, and then if you're ready, here, okay? 5 slow breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From here, you're gonna inhale, bring yourself back up. You gotta have a little bit of balance there. Okay, we're gonna go to the left side. So switching towards the front of the mat. Same thing. You can have your prayer hands, right? Exhale toward your leg as best you can. Maybe it's here. Maybe it's all the way over. You're gonna do 5 slow breaths. And again, you might not get as far on one side because you're not symmetrical. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, bring it back up. And exhale, step your feet together. Okay? So, again, at any point in time, feel free to take a break. We're making our way through some standing poses. So from here, we're gonna go to some wide leg forward folds. They're called Vajradhanasana. There are 4 of them. So you're gonna take a step back to the right. Your feet are gonna be parallel to the short sides of your mat. So that's what you wanna think about. Maybe even just like turning the toes in just a bit, okay? My knees aren't bowing out. Nice strong legs. I'm gonna inhale, grab my hips, and then I'm gonna exhale, fold forward, place my hands on the floor. I realize that can be challenging for some people, so it's totally okay to bend your knees. Like, you can bend your knees here if you need to, because by bending the knees, you're still lengthening out the hamstrings, okay? Inhale, lift your head, and exhale, fold down. You're gonna do 5 slow breaths here, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift your head. Exhale. Inhale, grab your hips. Exhale. Okay, that's the first one. Okay, second one, you're gonna inhale, spread your hands. Exhale, grab your hips. It's an extra breath. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Keep those hands at your hips as you exhale, fold forward. And if you're not touching the floor, you can just dangle like this, okay? So 5 slow breaths. 1, 2, really hollow out your belly. 3, 4, 5. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale. Okay, third one. This one's probably my favorite. Okay, we're going to stretch out the chest. So, inhale, spread your hands. Exhale, catch them behind your back. Okay, so we're really stretching out the pecs, front part of the body. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold forward. Now, if you're tighter through the chest and through the shoulders, maybe from lifting or whatever that might be, it can be really challenging to kind of bring your hands off of your back. So maybe this is enough of a stretch for you and your pose looks like this. If you're a bit more open because you've been doing some yoga, or maybe you're just naturally more flexible, I'm just going to let those shoulders kind of come forward, okay? So whichever one you're doing is totally okay, right? So we're going to inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold down. 5 slow breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale. Last one. You're going to inhale, grab your hips. From here, you're going to exhale, fold down, grab your toes. And again, this is one of those, like, bend your knees. Like, it's okay. Bend your knees if you need to. It can look like this if you have to. Okay? So legs are lifted. If you can get them there, toes are grabbed with those peace fingers. Exhale, fold down, elbows go nice and wide. 5 slow breaths. 1, 2, still focusing on your breath. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift your head. Exhale. Inhale, grab those hips. Come up. Exhale, step your feet together. All right. So we did our wide leg forward folds. Now we're going to do what's popularly known as pyramid pose, okay? So you're going to step back to the right. Your right foot is forward, left foot is back. This is the shortest stance in all of the standing poses, okay? Square those hips. You can grab your hands like this behind your back, so you can see that, like grab your hands like this. But traditionally, what we do is do like reverse prayer hands, okay? So you're really trying to press the index fingers together to open through the chest too. So whichever one is right for you, okay? So right foot forward, left foot back. Square the hips. Inhale, exhale, fold down. Okay, I want you to think I'm sending my chin toward my shin. You probably won't get it there because it's a really challenging pose, even though it looks really simple. But think my chin's going toward my shin. Okay, so leading with the chest, 5 slow breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, come back up. You're going to reverse your feet. And then exhale, fold down over the left leg. Same thing. Lead with the chest, hinging at the hips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, come back up. And exhale, step the feet together. Kind of shake out those arms. All right. So next up, we're going to do 2 balance poses. Don't be intimidated. You can use a wall. Like, it is totally okay to step over to a wall, place a hand on it. It's what they're there for. It's a prop, so it's totally okay to do that if you feel like you're still working on your balance. Okay. So this one's called Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. So you're going to find that midfoot in your left foot. So the middle of your foot, and you want to think I'm pressing down into the floor to really create like nice, strong, solid legs. I want you to just start by lifting your heel, and maybe for some of you this is enough. You can stay here, okay? Maybe this is enough of like a balance work for you because you're still uncomfortable with being on one foot. If you're ready and you're nice and stable, you're gonna grab your knee, okay? You can stay here. If you're feeling like, all right, this isn't too bad, you can grab that toe. Maybe you stay here because you know you have tight hamstrings or whatever it may be. But if you're ready and willing, you're going to extend that leg out, hold onto your toe with your peace fingers, and you're going to exhale, fold down. So wherever you're at in this journey, stop there for 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift your head. And then from here, if you're holding onto your toe, and I'm sure you're waiting on me, you're gonna do 5 breaths out to the side, and you're gonna look over your opposite shoulder. It's a challenge, okay? If your foot's down on the floor, it's gonna look a little bit more like a tree pose, right? You're gonna kind of do this. If you're holding your knee, it might look like this. And you can always keep that face forward until you're like totally ready. Okay, so let's do our 5 breaths. Let me get back there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, bring that leg in. You're gonna exhale, fold if you can. And then you're gonna bring both hands to your hips and point your toe for the 3rd position. 5 breaths here. 1, nice strong hips. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, lower that leg down. All right, shake it out. We're gonna go to the left side. So find the midfoot in the right foot. You're gonna press down, right? Nice, strong legs. Pushing down on the floor, using my toes for grip, right? Right hand on my hip. Start here. Then maybe go to here. Then maybe you go to here. See, one side's easier for me than the other. Okay? Extend your leg. Exhale, fold down. So wherever you're at, stop there. Either one can be fine. 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift your head. Exhale, take it out to the side. Whatever yours looks like is just fine. 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Woo! See? I fall over too, all the time. So you're gonna bring your leg in. If you can, bow. Point that toe. 5 slow breaths. 1, and it can be down here. It doesn't have to be up high like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, lower down. So that's the thing with balance work. You just have to be okay with it not being perfect. Like it's a hard pose. I don't care how long you've been doing this. It's hard. Okay? So give yourself some grace and some compassion, right? So let's go to the next balance pose. The next one's called Ardha Baddha Padmatanasana. Some of you will want to do a figure 4. Okay, a figure 4 is really great for stretching out your hips. So I'll show you what the pose looks like first, and depending on kind of where you're at, maybe you choose to do that figure 4. And again, this can be done over by the wall. You can even kind of put your back to it and use it that way. Okay, so full version of the pose, for those of you who are experienced yogis, you're gonna press down through that left foot, bring in the right, you're gonna put it in a half lotus. Okay, maybe you stay here. If your shoulders are nice and open and you don't have any shoulder injuries, you'll reach around, grab that toe, right? You're gonna exhale, fold down. You'll do 5 breaths there. Now I realize not everyone can get their leg into a half lotus, right? So for those of us who can't, you can start here. And this is a good place to kind of start because you're opening the hip. If you're ready, you're gonna bring that foot up and do a 4. See how it looks like a 4? And you're gonna do a little squat. And that's gonna really open up your glutes and your piriformis, right? You're gonna fold forward, do 5 breaths, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift your head. Exhale. Inhale, come back up. Exhale. Don't come up too quickly from that. Totally gone dark a couple times because I get super ambitious and think, I'm just gonna pop up, right? Feel free to use the wall too. Place that hand there, whatever you need to do. And take a little breather here if that's what your body's asking you for, okay? So let's do the other side. So again, either that figure 4 or the half lotus with the bound arm or without it, okay? It can be done with or without. So you're gonna bring in the left foot, press down through the right. You're gonna reach around, grab that toe if you're joining me in this part. It's not easy. Place your hand down, exhale, 5 breaths, either in figure 4 or here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift your head. Exhale. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, put that leg down. All right, so from here, you can take what we call a vinyasa, which is what we did in the beginning, or you're going to see, I just got lightheaded. It happens to all of us. So from here, you're either going to take a vinyasa or you can go straight into chair pose. If your shoulders are getting a little achy, you're a little bit sore, you can go straight into chair pose from here, right? If you're feeling it and you want some more heat, you're going to exhale, fold down, inhale, lift your head, step back, lower down. Inhale, look up, upward dog, exhale, downward dog. Inhale, look between your hands, step your feet up, knees are bent, reach up with those hands, 5 slow breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, from here, you can either inhale, come back up, and go right into the next pose, or you can take another vinyasa, okay? So if you're coming from here, you're gonna inhale, fold down, and step back. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, shift your hips back, downward dog. Okay, now if you're joining us from standing, you're just gonna put the right foot forward, left foot back, just like we did before, that warrior 1 position. Knee is stacked over your ankle, left foot is back or 45 degree. Square those hips, inhale, reach your hands up, 5 slow breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From here, you're going to take an inhale, twist around, go to the left side, right? So left knee over left ankle, square those hips, 5 breaths here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From here, you're going to inhale, open up your hands. Hips are open to the wide side of the mat. Okay, so just so you can see, I'm going to come around. Your feet really don't move, but you open those hips, open your arms, and look over your middle finger, right? Shoulders are relaxed away from the ears. Okay, warrior 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, flip it around. Exhale, into the right leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, from here, you're going to inhale, frame that foot, step it back, and exhale, lower down. Inhale, look up, upward dog. Exhale, shift your hips back, downward dog. All right, so we just did all of the standing poses, and we're going to go to a few seated poses, okay? So to get from downward dog to your seat, a really great way for beginners is to just bend the knees, lower down, swing those hips around, right? Okay, lots of fancy ways to do it if you look online on YouTube, but it's the simplest, safest way if you're still trying to figure it out, okay? So the first pose that we do is called Dandasana. It means staff pose. So your feet are out in front of you, they're active, they're flexed, you're zipping the legs up, sitting up nice and tall. You're gonna place your hands right by your bottom, lengthening through the spine. You're gonna do 5 breaths here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, from here, we're gonna go into Paschimottanasana. That's a forward fold, seated forward fold. So you want to keep those nice active legs. You're gonna lift, gonna open the ribs up, suck in your belly, right? Pulling in your belly, making your core nice and strong. You're lifting and you're gonna hinge forward right here at the hip. Don't round through the back, right? That's not doing anything for your hamstrings. So exhale, fold down, sending your chest towards your knees. You can grab your toes, the sides of your legs, the back of your knees. So even if your forward fold looks like this, and that's like lining up the back of your legs, that's okay. Like hold on here. And if you can, get your toes with your peace fingers, just like we did before, and exhale, fold down. Keep those shoulder blades down and shoulders away from your ears. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift your head. Exhale. So the next thing we're gonna do is, if you're here, we're gonna just scooch our hands a little bit lower down the leg, maybe just a teeny bit. If you can get it down to your shins, your ankles, whatever it may be, you're just gonna reach just a little bit farther down your leg. So we're just taking that bend a little bit deeper. How much can you sink, right? If your hands are here on your toes, you can grab the sides of your feet or wrap your hands around your legs. Either one is fine, okay? So inhale, exhale, fold forward, 5 slow breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift your head. Exhale, come up. Okay, so from here, to do some more of the seated poses, typically we do a vinyasa between the seated poses and including the right side and left side during a pose. You can skip that if you feel like your arms are getting tired. You can do all of it, that's totally fine. So it's up to you. If you're going to take the vinyasa, there are lots of fancy ways you can do it, but you don't have to do any of those fancy things, right? Like I'm breaking this down. And swing those legs around, kind of roll forward, plant your hands here, and you can even go down on your knees or on your toes, either one. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog or child's pose, okay? Then again, just inhale, look between your hands, you can bend your knees, and then swing those legs around, okay? You can, again, skip those if you need to. There's no shame in that, right? We're all building to something, like, you know? It's okay. So the next pose that we do is called Parvattanasana. It's a back bend, okay? Lots of ways you can modify this, okay? So, the full version of the pose, you're going to point your toes, walk your hands back about a foot from your bottom. You're going to kind of roll those shoulders forward. Inhale, lift up, drop your head back, look at the tip of your nose, okay? So, full version. Modified version, maybe you bend your knees, take your feet hip width apart, Okay, maybe you don't drop your head back if you know you have neck issues. Okay, so whichever one you're doing for 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, lower it down. And you're gonna inhale, bring those legs around. Again, you can skip it if you need to. Step it back on your knees or on your toes. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, look up, upward dog. Exhale, take it back, downward dog. Inhale, look between your hands. You're gonna bend your knees, you're gonna swing those legs around. Okay, so from here, we start doing one leg at a time. And we typically, in most poses, start with the right leg. There are like a few where you don't, but for the purposes of this, always think right leg, left leg, okay? So left leg stays out and right leg comes in. So this pose is called Ardha Baddha Padma Paschimottanasana. So that's a really long way of saying I'm going to bring my foot in and I'm going to bind it and I'm going to fold forward. So there are lots of ways we can modify this. So let's start with baby steps, okay? So you can start by just getting a nice diamond shape with your leg. And maybe that's enough, okay? If you can, bring your foot up here to a figure 4, just like we did before. This is gonna look really familiar. We're just doing it seated, right? And you can fold forward, okay? If you can get your leg into half lotus, so bringing it up here by your hip, kind of getting it towards your belly, okay? Maybe that's enough. You're gonna exhale, fold forward. If you're open enough, you're gonna have nice, soft, relaxed shoulders. You're gonna take that thumb, reach nice and big, like you're almost being kind of dramatic. And you're gonna catch that toe, okay? And you're gonna look forward, exhale, fold down. 5 slow breaths. So wherever you're at in that pose, it's okay, do your best. And we will do 5 breaths here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift your head. Exhale, come up. Usually it surprises people because they can actually do this pose. It's just a matter of keeping the shoulders soft and bringing that leg in. And if you can't get it right now, you're probably not far from getting it, truthfully. So from here, we're gonna take a vinyasa. You can skip this vinyasa or join me in it, okay? So you're gonna take your legs, you're gonna swing them around, bring your hands out in front of you. You're gonna put your toes here, or you're gonna be on your knees, and you're gonna exhale, lower down. Inhale, look up, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Okay, inhale, look between your hands, bend those knees, kind of gently swing the legs around, okay? So we're gonna go to the left side now. So right leg stays out, left leg here, again, can be here, can be here. And if you're able and ready and don't have any major shoulder issues, you're gonna reach around, thumb goes down, you're gonna reach, be nice and dramatic, catch that foot. It's always kind of exciting when you do it, okay? Then exhale, fold down, really kind of bring it in the belly, 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift your head. Exhale, come up. So one of the things to kind of remember with this practice is that since the poses are always the same, you kind of gauge your progress. You know, in 3 weeks, if you keep doing this, you're going to be in a different place physically than where you were when you started. You'll see yourself grow and become more flexible and become stronger. So that's one of the really cool things that I love about this, is that I'm able to measure my flexibility in a sense. So from here, let's take our legs. You're gonna swing those legs around. Again, you can skip this just want to keep reminding you, like it is okay to skip these if you need to. So on your knees or on your toes, exhale, lower down. Inhale, look up, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. All right, from here, we're gonna inhale, look between the hands. Lower down onto your knees, swing those legs around. All right, so from here, we are going to do Tiryan Mukha Ekapada Paschimottanasana. That is a mouthful. So what does that mean for us? It has a nice long translation, but what you're gonna do is keep your left leg out. And if you have knee issues, please skip this, just do a forward fold, okay? Like if you know you have torn meniscus or you've had ACL surgery or anything like that, please skip this, okay? You're gonna take the right leg, bend at the knee, your right heel is by your bottom, and your leg might be kind of kicked out, that's okay. Like it'll slowly work its way in. Okay, square the hips. And you're gonna inhale, exhale, fold down. So we're hitting the quad on the front of the leg and the hamstrings too at the same time. So 5 breaths here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, look up, exhale. So skip this vinyasa if you need to. We only have a couple more poses and then we're gonna go to our finishing sequence. So swing your legs around, knees or toes, exhale, lower down. Inhale, look up, exhale, shift your hips back. Inhale, look between your hands. You're gonna lower down onto your knees. Swing that leg out, and same thing as before. So knee is bent, ankle here, leg is out and active. Inhale, exhale, fold down. 5 slow breaths. 1, 2, try to press down into the floor with that long, lengthened out leg. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift your head. Exhale. All right, one more pose and we'll go to our finishing, okay? So again, you can skip this vinyasa if you need to. Swing your legs around. When your knees are on your toes, exhale, lower down. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, look between your hands, lower down onto your knees, swing those legs around. And the next one we're gonna do is Janu Shirshasana A. There are 3 of those. So the first one that we do and the last pose that we're gonna do for the seated sequence, your knee is bent and your right foot is gonna be on the inside of the left leg, okay? So it's pressing in. You've got an angle here, right? So it's almost like a right angle. You're gonna turn towards your left leg and you'll exhale, fold down, 5 slow breaths. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift your head. Exhale. Okay, we're gonna take a vinyasa and go to the left side. Skip if you need to. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, shift your hips back, downward dog. Inhale, look between your hands, lower down. Swing those legs around. We're gonna do it on the left side. So right leg is out, left leg is in, pressing in. We've got our angle. Line up over the right leg. Exhale, fold down, 5 slow breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift your head. Exhale. All right, so from here, we're gonna go to our finishing sequence. Okay, there's a lot more poses, but for someone who's getting started with Ashtanga yoga, this is a lot. So we're going to swing our legs around, take that vinyasa, lower down with the exhale, inhale up, exhale back. You're gonna inhale, look between those hands, lower down onto your knees, swing them around. So the next thing we're gonna do is back bending. And with back bending, there are some really great ways to kind of get started. We're going to do some hip bridges. So lie down on your back, get down there however you need to. Lie down on your back, okay? Feet are hip width apart, scooched in close to your bottom. You got a nice little curve in your back here. So you should be able to kind of slip that hand under. That protects the spine. Okay, hands are reaching down long by your side. Bracing the belly, pulling in your pelvic floor. You're going to inhale, press with your feet, lift your hips up. 5 slow breaths here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, lower down. And we're gonna do it 2 more times. If you're super new, it's okay. You can also slide a block underneath your hips to just kind of get that space. Or you can just do the first one. But we're gonna do 2 more. We always do 3. Inhale, press with your feet, lift your hips up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, lower down. And you can kind of shake your knees if you need to. That's totally okay. We're going to do our last one. Still maintain that nice curve, pressing through the feet. Feet are hip width apart. Inhale, press up. 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, lower down. Kind of shake your knees side to side. All right, from here you can kind of bring your knees into your chest, do what you gotta do. It's kind of nice to roll your back out, and you're just gonna roll to the side, bring yourself up. And we're gonna do a forward fold, so I'm gonna face you guys. Forward fold, feet out in front of you. We're gonna do 10 slow breaths here. So lift through the chest, exhale, fold down. Your hands can go wherever they fall. They can be here, 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 doesn't matter. 10 slow breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Inhale, lift your head. Exhale. All right, so there are 3 final poses that we're going to do for the finishing sequence. We're going to be here for a little bit. Each one is 10 breaths each, so 30 breaths. I want you to find a comfortable seat. So traditionally, we take a lotus pose here. So right leg in first, left leg in. Okay, I realize for a lot of you, that's going to be like, you're looking at that going, there's no way. Okay, so what you can do is just bring in one leg. You can do like a half lotus. You can do crisscross applesauce. Can you tell I'm a mom? You can also just kind of sit with your legs however is comfortable for you. You can even have them out in front of you. So if you have knee issues, it's totally okay to do this. I would prefer that you're not in pain for all that time. Okay, so find whatever works for you. So the first one we're going to do is Baddha Padmasana. So we're going to reach around, grab our forearms behind our back, opening through the chest. Inhale, exhale, just fold it down, 10 breaths here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Inhale, come back up, exhale. All right, next, Padmasana. So you're gonna take your hands and you're gonna put your index finger and thumb together, okay? So the reason why we do this is it helps us concentrate. These are called mudras. It's like yoga for your hands, I guess. So you're gonna put your index finger and thumb together. This helps us concentrate, and that's why we do that. You're gonna rest your hands down. You're gonna sit up nice and tall. Tuck that chin in. 10 breaths here. And you can do more if you would like, but at least 10 breaths here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Inhale, relax your hands. All right, very last pose that we do, it's called Utplute, means uplifting, right? So for a very long time, I could not do this pose. It requires a lot of core strength and arm strength, so I have lots of modifications for it. What it looks like, full version, and I'm sure those of you who have been lifting or whatever will have no trouble with this. I always find someone who can just do it first try. My daughter's one of them. She can just magically do it. But for someone like me, I've had 2 children. I had shoulder surgery, so I had a weak upper body. I had to modify. So here's what the full version looks like. You're gonna take your hands, press into the floor, and lift your bottom up. So lift your lotus, and you hold that for 10 breaths. Okay, I'm shaking on the first breath. It's still hard for me, and that's okay. So how I modified it is take my hands, push in the floor. Okay, I'm still activating my shoulders, strengthening my shoulders with the force of pressing into the floor. You can try to lift just your knees. You can try to lift just your booty. Whatever works for you, but we're gonna hold that for 10 breaths. So find something that's sustainable. And since I'm gonna be counting, I'm gonna do the modified version because it's still really hard for me. So we're gonna press down on the floor, 10 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Exhale, lower down. Shake out those arms. All right, from here, this is where we Ashtangis say we lay down and take some rest. Do whatever is right for you. I know a lot of classes have like official Shavasanas, where you're kind of guided through like a meditation. For us, we do whatever we need to do to take care of ourselves. That can mean laying on your stomach, laying on your side. I particularly like to lay on my stomach because I'm a stomach sleeper. I find it just really grounding and nice. But whatever kind of speaks to you, you can put your legs up the wall. If you need a little like inversion here, that's always really nice. You can just scoot your bottom close to the wall, put your legs up. So at this point in time, I want you to just do whatever you need to do to take a little bit of rest, at least 5 to 10 minutes, just kind of chill out, right? And if you ever have any questions about the practice, or if you'd like to learn poses beyond what we've done, I'm happy to work with you. I'm happy to send you more videos and resources. There are some amazing resources out there. So feel free to reach out to me. I'm Mindy Ratcliffe on Facebook, or you can find me on Instagram at Real Mindy Ratcliffe. You can send me a message, whatever works best for you. So I hope you enjoyed this this very beginner Ashtanga yoga practice, and I hope everyone stays safe and healthy, and before long we'll all be back to life as usual, and I'm looking forward to that for sure. But for the time being, let's make the most of it, enjoy it, spend time with our families, and practice some yoga. So thank you guys. Namaste.